He's the agent. So for example, you are the Toyota dealer, for example. If you're the Toyota dealer here, you are actually the agent of Toyota over here. Right? So when you're actually selling the Toyota cars, you're actually acting as an agent for Toyota, and the money that you're getting, which is on top of the money that you're giving back to Toyota, is a commission. Right? So therefore, for you, it is permissible for you to buy and sell in the name of Toyota. Why? Because you are an agent for Toyota. Right? So either the owner or the agent or the father of the owner. Why the father? Because Islam gives the father the right to have the right to the money of the son. Right? The father has a right to the money of the son. So therefore, not the son of the father, but the father of the son. Right? So therefore, the father can take the son's property and sell it off, if he so wishes. Right? The next condition is that the owner must be able to hand over the commodity to the buyer. He must be actually physically able to not give it in by his hand. That's not what I mean. I mean it's like hand over the commodity. He must be able to do taslim of the property. That's what we say in Arabic. He must be able to hand it over to the other person. So therefore, if you're not able to hand it over to the other person, it's yours, right? But you can't hand it to the other person. Such as, for example, when your commodity is stolen, when your laptop has been stolen, you can't sell it. Why? Because you're not. Okay, yes, you've written to the police. Inshallah, you might get it back, and you're searching for the guy who stole it. You might get it back. However, you don't definitely have the laptop, so therefore you cannot sell it, because you will be selling therefore what you do not have. So the possibility of having it in your possession does not give you the right to sell it. In the same way, for example, a runaway slave. You can't sell a runaway slave. The slave, your slave was run away. You can't, because he has run away. You don't have you don't think that you'll be able to get him back. Same way, for example, fish in the water, for example. Fish in the water in the pond, for example, you can't go and say, I'll sell you, 5 kilos of hamur fish, and then after you get the money, you just go out fishing and then take the fish. No, that's not permissible. In the same way, you can't sell, for example, birds in the air, for example, because you don't have them in your possession. Okay, the next point as well, the last condition that every single business transaction of buying and selling needs to have is that the commodity must be identifiable by sight or by description. The commodity must be identifiable by sight or by description. So you can't sell anything majhul. You can't sell something that is unknown. So you can't say, Salim, I've got something in my pocket, take it for £5. No. He must be able to identify it by sight, so he sees it, or by description. So I tell him, what I have in here is a pen. It's a blue pen it writes well, etc., etc. It's a nice one. You like it. Obviously a nice one. You like it. It's not a description, but it's a blue pen and it writes well. It's for Uniball and it's 0.05, etc., etc. Those descriptions that will allow him to not have any uncertainty about the product that he's about to buy. Whether that be, for example, I might have a sample product in front of me so that he may see what his own real product will look like, or that I just give him descriptions on a piece of paper, or I tell him, so that he therefore also does not have any ignorance about what the product is that he is about to buy. So these 6 conditions need to be there in every single business dealing. Conditions in buyu, we've just talked about conditions of buyu. And of course, conditions of buyu are those that are laid down with the sharia. Shurutul buyu, this is what we call conditions of buyu. Shurutul buyu is that which is laid down with the sharia. However, shurut fil buyu, the conditions in buyu, are those that are laid down by either the buyer or the seller for their benefit. Now the conditions in buyu can be divided into permissible ones and non-permissible ones. Okay? Permissible ones are 4 types, impermissible ones are 2 types. The permissible ones are those conditions that are part and parcel. This is the first type of permissible condition, is that which is part and parcel of the condition of the transaction itself. So for example, in a transaction you might say, after I buy this pen, I have the right to use it. Do you agree? Okay, this condition obviously is from the part and parcel of the business itself. You might say the condition is, after I buy this pen, I have the right to sell it. Of course, that is your right, isn't it? But you might still put these conditions if you wish, and that would be a permissible condition. The second is the condition that are from the benefit of the transaction. What do I mean by the benefit? The maslaha of the transaction itself. The benefit of the transaction. What do I mean by that is, for example, in a transaction, someone might say, I need a guarantor. The bank will say, for example, or a person will say, let's say, he will say, I need a guarantor. You go to buy a car, and the car dealer says, okay, I'll sell you this car on installments. However, I need a guarantor. Yeah, I need a person as a guarantee, person to guarantee that you will that you will pay off all your money. So that person might be the bank, that person might be XYZ, to guarantee to the merchant that you will pay back your dues. So this shart, putting this condition that there must be a guarantor, is halal, is permissible. Also to say that there must be a security, I need a security deposit, for example. For example, you want to rent the house, and the renter makes a condition that you must have a security deposit of £1,000. That's halal condition. Why? Because this condition is from the maslaha of the aqd. It is from the benefit of the aqd. Right? This is why this is a permissible condition. Why is it from the benefit of the aqd? Because you see, these sort of conditions give people happiness, and they give them consent. It is only after these conditions that they become happy that inshallah the business will be a successful one. The next type of condition which is permissible in buyu is that condition that sets a stipulated amount of benefit for either the buyer or the seller. For example, I will sell you this house with the condition that I live in it for the next 1 month. So for example, in what happened in the time of Rasulullah is that Rasulullah wanted to buy a horse from Jabir radiallahu anhu, and so Rasulullah told Jabir, let me buy it. And so Jabir said yes, however with the condition that I get humlan ila Medina, I get to use it until I reach Medina. Right? So thereafter, after Rasulullah bought the horse and paid in the money, after they reached Medina, then only Jabir gave the horse back to Rasulullah. However, Rasulullah really wanted to give Jabir a gift, so he gave the horse back to Jabir as a present. So you see how this transaction happened. Jabir made a condition of a manfa'a, of a time for use of the car, of the horse. So you might, for example, say, yes, I'll sell you this car, however, until another 1 month, for example. Meaning I'll sell you the car and the deal will take place right now. However, my condition is that I get to use it for 1 month. That's halal, inshallah. Right. The next point that is halal, next condition that you can make in buyu that is halal is stipulating a condition for the time of the transaction, to take place. For example, I will sell you only when the market price is so and so. Okay? So this sort of transaction is also halal. To say that I will sell you when Brother Tawfiq comes to England another time. That's also halal, inshallah. This is the opinion of Hanbali scholars, also the opinion of Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, also the opinion of some of the Shafi'i scholars. However, the vast majority of the ulama are against this sort of transaction. Why? Because in such a transaction, a transaction really hasn't taken place until that shart has really taken place, until the tawfiq comes again, until the market price reaches that price, right? So this is why they prevent these sort of transactions. However, the most correct opinion is that it is permissible.